Hi there, welcome to my Google Classroom. This is the class for medical detectives, and the unit that we're doing from start to end in this impact project is called the Brain and the Senses unit. So the first project here is a visual vocabulary, and what that is a list of vocab words, which look like this, that the students fill in. Now, the bulk of this project is actually not the words themselves, but it's the drawings around them. I want, first, because we're learning anatomy of the brain, I want students to really have a feel for like what things look like. So what my rule was here is that I said we are going to make some drawings that are going to look like this. This is a shot of the board, like after I was done teaching the lesson. So they draw this on their sheets, and they also fill in this. But my rule for this was they can only have 5 words or less in each one of these lines. So from there, so that's that project. And each one of the lessons has its own like summary. This is the summary for the whole unit because it's the first lesson in the unit. But you can see all the resources are right there for it. We've got the pictures of the board, etc. Anyways, after this lesson we go on to do a senses lab. After that we do a sight lab, a hearing worksheet, and then we work on brain diagrams. Here's an example of a final product of the brain diagrams that people made. They did draw it by hand on sheets, and then they worked on these to, let's look at this one. So I posted pictures of the brain that weren't labeled, and what they did is they added their own, they labeled it themselves, and they used color to show where the different parts were. So you can see there's the inferior view, the cross section, and the superior view. So without further ado, here is the rest of my project.
Diagram. Okay, so the blind spot is the place where the optic nerve enters the retina. So we're going to close your left eye and hold the blind spot diagram at arm's length with the plus sign in front of your nose and the dot oriented to the outside of the face towards the right ear. Okay, so we all got that? Go ahead and do that right now. Close your left eye and hold the blind spot diagram at arm's length. You doing okay?
I'm not sure what that was.
Oh.
Oh my god, that's so weird. Which page?
Okay, so then you're gonna, the one that says blind spot diagram.
I can't see the circle.
That's the idea, yep. So you're gonna bring it closer and closer until you can't see that circle anymore. Yeah, you'll see it just like vanish.
Oh, where did I put it?
So then at that point, you're gonna hold your sheet there, take your ruler and measure how far away it is from you. Okay, so Isaac, I got you. So you're gonna hold it out.
My eye is not doing this. It's not working anymore.
It's not working. Who's having trouble?
It didn't work for me. It worked
Okay.
for like a second.
You gotta do it slow, because yeah, if you move your eye at all, your eye like compensates. Like your eye's really used to like compensating for this blind spot.
Oh, right here.
You got it? Okay. Does anybody need help getting the ruler set? Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I can help you. Okay, so hold it in your right hand. Yep. So you're gonna have the plus sign in front of your nose. You're gonna close your left eye. You're good. You're good, buddy. It's okay.
25 centimeters.
Do you want to just watch other people doing it? Would you rather do that?
It's one thing. I want to go through issues with it. I want to go through issues with it.
Okay.
I do not
So
like
how about this? Do you want to help me measure mine? Okay. All right.
7.5 inches.
Okay, so go ahead and write your right eye blind spot distance there on the chart. Okay, so you're going to measure for me, right? Scroll down. You will see some words that say blind spot.
Here?
You can read the directions. The directions are right there on the thing. So I'll tell you again.
What
'Cause-
about here?
So you're going to write my numbers right there,
I'm
okay?
just going to keep it in inches.
No, you need to put it in centimeters. So the conversion for inches to centimeters is 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. I'm going to write that up on the board here. Up at the very top. So if you're looking at inches, 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. So you can use your calculator on your computer and do that math real quick. Yeah, Jasmine. Yes. Yep. Of course I'm videoing. is not going, you might want to do it slowly. And you want to start from far out and then come in.
I was waiting for you to get there.
Oh yeah, sure.
Doing another line.
Okay, so
So I wanted to show you what the final product is. This is what the board looks like at the end of the lesson. And I also made, here's some more views of it. Cross-section, lateral view, peripheral nervous system. The point that I told students over and over was it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look like anything real great. It's just enough to jog your memory so that when you think about where these parts are in the brain, you remember where they are and what they are. So there were definitely some students though that were so nervous about like their drawing skills that or like a student that I have that is on the autism spectrum that just like would get really caught up in wanting to make it perfect, and that's just not possible. So I made an accommodated version for him. It could be better. I think in the future I would make the lines straighter and make it just a little bit nicer looking. But I gave this to him and to do in his study lab. You can see there's some places he needs to fill in. There's parts to label. And then this is his finished product. So it works. And then this is a solid thing that he can use later. And all the students can use this same format if they would like to use it as a study guide or whatever. So that's that. Hey, so I wanted to show you something that I did for this unit to make it more visually appealing to the students. This is from a pre-made curriculum through Project Lead the Way, and it comes with these worksheets that are pre-made. They give an introduction to each activity, the equipment that you're going to need, and then kind of talks you through the whole thing. But what I found is that students got kind of caught up in like all the chunks of words that were there. So what I did is I broke that up into different parts so it was easier to digest. So here's the Google Classroom. And each activity has like the title of the activity, what we're doing, and then these words that were in the worksheet are there instead so that they're more manageable. Sometimes I even summarized what that was saying there because I wanted kids to want to read it all. I don't want them to have to like skim over, skip things. I want them to see all of this stuff because it's good. And then right below that, you can see we have the worksheet itself. There's two parts, questions to get them their brains primed for the activity, and then the actual worksheet that we do as we're doing the activity together as a class. Okay, and then after the activity, I posted pictures of them doing the activity so that they could remember themselves doing it and think back on what all the stations were. So here's the original worksheets that the curriculum made. You can see that it talks them through the procedures. There's some links, but it's not super visually appealing. So I actually took these same things and I just like took out all the extra stuff so that what they're getting is just the stuff that they're doing. Like it's just the instructions that they need with just the diagrams that they need. I added graphic organizers. I tried to make it just like as user-friendly as possible so that it's really clear to see as we're doing it, this is where you write this is what we're looking for, etc. Yep, so that's that worksheet. So same thing for the Sight Lab. With the Sight Lab especially, okay, so this is the original worksheet. Procedures are all kind of mixed in there. Some of these have questions to answer in there, but you can't really, if you're like reading challenged, it's hard to see those questions sometimes. So it's easy to miss things. So this is what I made from that same worksheet. Tons of color. There's like a giant picture of an eye, and then each page is really clear. Like this is the blind spot activity that we're working on right now, and these are the graphic organizers that you need to fill out while you're doing it. Yeah, I tried to use a lot of color to make it easy to see, easy to find where the actual questions are, easy to see like the main point of each one. Yeah, big letters. So yeah, that's that. So I wanted to sum up all that you've seen here. For this Brain and the Senses unit, these are the following educational techniques that we used. We used graphic organizers, such as diagrams on the whiteboard that what students would draw, such as 5-word definition vocabulary lists, such as drawings that they can label. And this is also an accommodation for students who are too nervous about their drawing skills to be able to do that efficiently. such as student Google drawings, where they are labeling parts of a brain that they have been given. We used think, pair, share, and gallery walks. So anytime that students created something that had a lot of information in it, I would have them work with a student next to them to make sure that to double check that they got everything. And then at the end, we would have students do a gallery walk to see each other's work. Every one of our activities is differentiated, student-centered. So we had a lab where we were testing our sense of sight. We had a lab where we were testing our senses of taste and touch and hearing. And each one of these could be accommodated to different kids with different strengths. They work together to get it all done. As far as teacher monitoring techniques, I'm always listening to student conversations. When I hear any kind of frustration, when I hear any kind of question, I'm on it. I go check it out. I also observe student work. We have regular checkpoints. Every activity we do, there's something to turn in about it, so I can check that they're getting it. I give them feedback right away. Thanks for watching.